Good to see people. Some of you I haven't seen in a while. We have many people registered. I don't know how many will actually make it live, but I'm sure everybody will watch the recording after all. Okay. I ran out of space to keep recorded meetings. I had to clear it out today. Hi, Diana. I see you already met each other in the comments. We have some Norwegians. Valentina, where are you based? I keep forgetting where you're based. Anyway, so lovely to see you guys. It's actually, I got incredibly excited about this one because what I've realized is that probably the whole idea of a woman of the future and the creatress is something which is at the very core of what I'm trying to, well, teach is a loud word, but like trying to share, I suppose, right? And I feel like, oh, when it's here in Kyoto, wow, that's impressive. Yeah. Um, and I feel like a big part of sharing what a creatress mean is also me very much being a creatress, as well as all of us. But I guess we all live that archetype in a very different shapes, forms. And I guess most of you, well, everybody knows me here, but I will share a little bit about my journey, some of the things that I've come to realize, and some of the realizations, I suppose, that I had along the way. Also, I've downloaded this insane thing, which I can't wait to share. And yeah, hopefully we will manage to do a little journey at the end of this meeting today. Let's see. Oh, my dress. It's not a dress, it's a top actually. But yeah, thank you. Thank you, guys. It's good to be appreciated, well, dresses and things. Since, a lot of the time I work with like my higher class, so people only see a little bit of my outfits. Nobody sees my shoes anymore. That's the issue of being online. Someday there will be like a huge, beautiful creators village where we can all walk around and feel awesome and share all these wonderful outfits. But not just today, not just yet. So let's see what we have here. As per usual, it's very much kind of spur of the moment presentation. I was just like putting things in as I saw. What do I do? Present, not share. Putting things in as they came. So, there's still a structure, I suppose. You'll find it out. It will all make sense. I really love this picture. Oh, I don't know why I'm hearing myself. I guess everyone needs to mute themselves. Diana. Okay, so yeah, I really love this picture because it kind of shows the sort of Ibiza. I guess AI made it kind of an interesting, non-existent landscape, but it is kind of Ibiza. And the women of the future. I love this picture, Alex. I think this is so beautiful. You were born to create. Yeah, so this is 1.5 hours where I want to share how we can build lives around our magic, not against it. And I will tell you more about what I mean. As per usual, this is a safe and receptive space. Feel free to ask questions and to share something you feel. Camera is optional, chat encouraged. Be fully with yourself and your emotions, and you will get the recording. So don't worry if you, for whatever reason, need to do something else or attend to your baby, Valentina. Most of you obviously know who I am. I'm your energy healer and Akashic Records guide. And I've been working with many beautiful souls, and it's been the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life. And that is what I suppose I want people to experience in a way, because what I believe in is that we can only become good guides and teachers when we can embody certain codes. We can't be guides and teachers when we just know things. We can only become them once we have lived a certain experience in certain thing, certain life. And this is when we can actually just share it, even without speaking, even without teaching, and even without writing books. We just kind of emanate that particular kind of energy, particular codes that create some change around us and that make that impact. So, yeah, in terms of actual physical things, I've been doing a lot of one-on-one sessions with beautiful souls looking to express their light in the world. People who already think they are light workers, so they're still kind of wondering about it, or just somebody who wants to live a more aligned life and want to understand what they need to, what is still kind of out of alignment. My own experience is 18 plus, crazy, sounds crazy, years of inner work, channeling, spiritual activations, and helping people to find a path and purpose, whilst also looking for my own path and purpose. Real transformations, real death, what death? What is it? Real depth and real awakening. And some of you know that I'm a serial entrepreneur in the past. I've built quite a few different things. I don't even know if I can call them companies, or I can call them creative projects, or I can call them containers, because I think the definition of a company can be quite broad. One of the things I built was a startup accelerator. We were launching, I think we have launched 72 companies in women's health, helping women and supporting women. And also a media company where I actually used to highlight beautiful ideas and wonderful entrepreneurs that I met. My own path, well, I don't know how much you want to know about this one. The 3 marriages, many countries, and many businesses. And that is all, by the way, not a problem for a creatress. Creatress is the person who is the archetype that constantly reinvents herself. And it is a beautiful thing about us. There is no shame in, being this today, being that tomorrow, and being something else in a week's time. And then when we look back, we always know there was a thread. There was something that there was a vibration that we always carried, despite not quite knowing or just exploring where that vibration will go. So anything we do every day makes sense, and it will make sense when we look back. And hopefully every next step we make in terms of our career or business will bring us more into that alignment, more into that ease and flow, which means we are acting and building something in full alignment with who we really are on the inside. And nobody does it straight away. Nobody is born and just does one thing, full alignment, and never looks around. I don't think it ever happens. That's not the point of being incarnated here. So the idea is that we do want to explore, to try things out, to figure things out. And as long as we are doing that, actively doing something in the world, as well as realizing, cleansing, healing, that is what the creator's path looks like. That is that magical rhythm that I will be talking more about today. But I feel like this is very important to understand, that it's not about just healing. It's not about just realizing, just channeling. It's about actually doing things in the real world. And that is the magic dance that we want to have. So the new creatress, I don't know if there was an old creatress, but I suppose the old creatress of the past would have been that kind of a woman who is creative, and most of the time they were not fully happy, or they were not fully in alignment. A lot of the times creative women of the past would be creating from a lot of wounds and pain and things like this. However, the new creatress archetype, the one that keeps coming to me, the one that keeps kind of calling my name in terms of, embodying, realizing it, sharing it, teaching it, that is the woman who is realizing her soul light, her actual potential of what she brought here from before incarnating here, plus all those experiences she had in this lifetime as well. So it is a path to becoming the realized woman. And when I say it's a path, it's not an end goal. We're not just somehow I'm the new creatress, done. And the creatress is a path. I suppose that is important to mention and to understand here. And I really like these words: vision, creation, impact, freedom. We'll talk what I mean. I will tell more about what I mean. If only I could see the chat. Yeah. So creatress is a path. Yes, yeah. And this is beautiful, isn't it? I mean, praising myself here. Well said, Katia. Well done. Okay. The big shift here is that we were mostly taught to consume in life. You consume information, knowledge, and some teachings and whatever. We consume entertainment, we consume experiences, and we can consume other people's visions or other people's embodied codes. But there is also another side to it. To be in the creator mode. And every time we create even this much, we are realizing that divine energy within ourselves. Because every act of creation, even the smallest one, is always is always realizing God, Goddess, source within us. And it is always a step from slavery to freedom, because consumption kind of keeps us down there. We watch Netflix, we're full of other people's creative images, we're full of other people's ideas, we're full of other people's experiences, and we don't really do anything about it, right? We just consumed, and that's it. And many people, you wouldn't believe it, never ever move beyond that consumption mindset. They go to work, they do whatever they need to, they go back home, they consume, they consume, they consume, and then it's just on repeat. And the step out of it, the step away from it, is to explore more of that creativity within. And by creativity, I don't necessarily mean creating an artwork, but anything can be a creation. Even when you're reading a book, you can take notes with your own thoughts, edit, and that little bit will already be your creation. You can post something on Instagram, which is beautiful. You can take a picture, which is beautiful, and post it somewhere and share something. You can feel something And then you put that feeling into some form, which can be a poem, a picture, a little, paragraph, something. And that might already inspire someone and bounce, right? And the thing about creation is that it is something that goes beyond your internal world, right? It doesn't stay within, it goes somewhere else. And that is our move towards freedom, because when we start creating, we're putting our own active ability to manifest our heart energies, our fire energies into something we want or into something we envisage. That is the act of creation. A good little exercise here is thinking, do I spend more time on and energy on consumption or creation? And you can say, look, well, maybe I spend 70% on consumption and 30% on creation. And ideally, you want to have kind of more than half of your day, of your mind, of your being, more than half the time in the creator mode. That would be great. That would be great for your energy. That'd be very good for you. And then you will actually see your life changing as well because of that. Because your life and the world around us also responds to us being in that state. Because that state means I am divine. I respect the God, goddess, source within me. And this is an expression of that God, goddess, source, whatever that is. And that is a very different position to be immediately. It raises your vibration. It raises you above the consume, work, die kind of thing, right? Does it sound okay? Does it sound clear, that distinction, that difference? 3 months as kisses where I didn't allow myself to consume any podcasts. Nice. Gardening, nature works, and just being in the present. That's so beautiful, Valentina. Creation, yeah, makes us feel alive and like becoming a bigger person. Yeah, because you're embodying that same energy that God has, right? That makes sense. It's the same energy. It's just on a smaller scale. And there we go. This women of the past kind of thing, and creatress, which is the woman of the future, in my terminology here, anyway. That is just a little table here to. I know. I mean, it's not that, not that deep, but you can kind of feel the difference, right? The women of the past, we used to in the past, right? Our grandmothers, our mothers, our women, previous generations of women, they used to have to push to fit themselves into the world of men, which is all about produce, achieve, run, push, compete, right? And there was a lot of solar plexus energies, and you kind of need to seek approval, you need to, you need to comply. Um, you need to follow someone else's rules because women had to be in the men's world, so they had to sort of forget the fact that they're women, and they had to discard all of that and go into the fully masculine um, mode, right? To be able to succeed in the men's world. And it was so hard and it was so difficult and it was so unfulfilling for most of the women, right? The most successful women in like 70s, 80s, 90s, if you really speak to them and you ask them, okay, how did that feel? They would tell me that was terrible. And a lot of them would also say that they have a lot of physical issues, some kind of, because their bodies would be resisting being so misaligned with their own nature. Again, I don't want to generalize. I'm sure there are some women who are perfectly happy walking the masculine path, but it is hard. Like, why do something really hard? What's the point? Why pretend to be a monkey when you're a fish or like whatever, right? Like, what's the point of not doing the things you're good at and doing something you're bad at? So yeah, basically discharging and separating your feminine and kind of hiding it, right? So women were not even allowed to speak about children in the workplace. They were not really allowed to speak about menstruation in the workplace and all this stuff. Yes, Ayana, we'll come to the heart and solar plexus, but I'm just talking about the old school version when it was just the heart solar plexus. Heart was not involved, and it was all super suppressed. Um, and the woman of the future is someone who moves with the flow, someone who can move, who can build stuff from the heart, from that internal inner spark of God. Someone who trusts her inner knowing, someone who is not just blindly following the rules, but actually listens to her own intuitive knowing. Someone who creates her own path and just does a lot of creation in general. Uh, Integrates fire and water. That's something that we'll talk about it later today, but she is not just one thing. She is all things. That's the whole point of a creatress. It's not about, again, it's not about discarding everything that was masculine. Not at all the point of a creatress. And yes, she claims her sovereignty. She claims her freedom. She claims her freedom of self-expression. And she builds what she loves. And being a creatress, yeah, your feelings become your allies. Your feminine intuition becomes your biggest strength as opposed to weakness. And that is kind of this shift. And the world is actually ready for that shift. Not just ready, it's already embracing that in many, many ways. And we can see this, whenever you open your Instagram feed, whenever you open anything, women are thriving by being women. Incredible as it sounds. We don't need to hide that anymore. We don't need to pretend that our intuition was our weakness, that our sensitivity and our ability to feel and to love and to embrace other people, that was some kind of fault that needs to be forgotten and hidden while we go to our 9 to 5 and pretend to really enjoy working in a bank or whatever. By the way, I'm sure there are women who just like, I feel like I always need to say, I'm sure there are women who love working in banks and, all good for you guys. It's not a problem. It's just I'm talking about the women who didn't enjoy it but had to do it because that was the only way to make money, to make a living, to make anything out of yourself. So they had to follow those career paths that were difficult and that went really against the feminine nature in a way. So we want to move from surviving life to creating life. And that is a very, very significant shift. And you really feel it when it happens. From consumption to creation, from force to flow. So rather than forcing things into existence, chasing things, we magnetize things and we flow with the universe in order to co-create something beautiful, including our lives. And yeah, from all those limitations to freedom. What does she create? And as I said, it's not just artworks. It's not just a beautiful, not just works of art or books, right? She creates herself over and over and over and over. And those of you on the path, actually all of you, I think, here are on the path. And you know what it means. You know how it feels when you're like, I was that yesterday and I'm a completely different thing today. And Tomorrow I'll be something else. And I don't know who I am, but that's okay. Because actually defining yourself into one thing is putting yourself in a box. And Creatress, she just does not need a box because a box doesn't help her. A box is not something that makes her feel herself. So a little bit of that, like taking the pressure off. We don't need to know exactly who we are and what we need to do. Like that is okay to have no idea. Um, she creates her life and everything in it. And I guess, again, it's like such a phrase that anyone can throw around. But what does it mean to create your life? See something in the chat. Letting go of old identities that no longer serve has been a long but rewarding process. Yeah. So creating a life starts with alignment, with actually taking all the shells off, right? All those masks, all those roles, all those identities, and starting with looking at your pure, naked heart. What does she want? What does she bring? And from there, the kind of life that we have, it's very easy. It's a very easy test is to just ask, so do I love the life I have right now? Right now, right this moment, with everything in it. And if the answer is like, not quite, this not quite bits are the bits that maybe you didn't fully align. Some bits of your life didn't fully align with your internal feeling, with your heart. So she creates her life by healing and expanding her heart space. But then also a woman has this amazing ability to create a home out of nothing, an environment out of nothing. And any environments that we have within our house are created by us. Don't make mistake, right? It's all our creation. And that's something we can, again, that's a good thing, right? To take responsibility for it and say, okay, I've created this life, I've created this home, I've created this family. Let's do something else. Like, let's create it differently. Let's change things. Let's move things. Let's whatever. And that's all done by connecting with your heart space. She creates her business. She creates her way of making money. Whatever that way is, it can be very different. But there's always some way that she exchanges the energy with the world. And that exchange is also her creation. And obviously, of course, her many forms of self-expression. The way she dresses, the way she speaks, the way she drinks her tea, the way she appears on social media, the way she appears at work, like the way she is a mother, the way she's a wife, the way she's a lover, like everything is a form of her self-expression. And this is what I like. You've probably seen it on my Instagram, the life like a dance. And that is what I feel a lot of us kind of underappreciate or not really seeing that they tell you like you are the creator of your reality. But I would say we're all co-creators because we co-create our reality with the universe. And it is like a dance. The universe, I take a step, right? The universe makes a step. I take another step, the universe takes another step. And do I understand that rhythm? Do I know how to align with that? That is my creative process here. It's not just me sitting in my room and really strongly desiring to own a Lamborghini and like, that's what you get. Like, this is not a creatress thing. That makes sense, right? However, maybe the universe has a Lamborghini for me or two. Why not? Nothing wrong with it. Or whatever it is that we can manifest or create. But that is the thing, it's the rhythmical movement between the two, between everything. It's Maybe it also can be a bit like swimming. You're swimming in the sea, not by fighting the sea. Actually, quite funny. Fun fact, my husband actually seems to be fighting the sea when he's swimming. That's why he gets so tired and exhausted after swimming for 5 minutes. He's like fighting it. Like this not it's holding you. What do you mean? Why do you need to fight it? But that's a good example. The sea actually holds you, the universe holds you. You don't need to fight it. All you need to do is to find your own movement, the particular movement that moves you forwards or backwards or sideways, and you choose where you want to go. But you need to do it with the flow of that ocean, of the universe. And the more aligned you are within, the more aligned you are without, right? So we co-create with the divine, with the universe, and with everything in existence. And yeah, we don't fight the ocean. Let's stop fighting the ocean. Creation without force. So we are never pushing in isolation. We don't need to constantly apply force, control, and fight our way forward. We work with the flow. This is why actually being a creatress is so much more fun than trying to follow the masculine way of building things and creating things in life. Because they always seem to be pushing and fighting and going in this very narrow direction. Why, while the wisdom of the creatress is to always be open, to always be receptive. And that ability, that receptivity makes us so good at aligning with the outer flow of the world, with the flow of the energy outside of ourselves. But also it makes it so easy because instead of pushing like, I want to make $1 million through doing this course, you're like, okay, universe, is there something the world kind of needs? And the world is like, the world wants to listen about Creatress. Oh, okay, world. Yeah, there we go. Let's do it. And this is like this little exchange. That makes sense. Let's see the comments. Love the metaphor of flowing with the ocean. I've been thinking about that. It helped me so much feel calm at the sea. Yes, I love it. Yeah, so what else is there? Oh, that's the one. I mean, I probably talked about it already a number of times, but we will talk about it more. Oh, Fatima, hi, nice to see you. Love seeing you as well. Everybody, I love everybody. Love seeing everybody. You're amazing. It's like, I don't know, having a tea party with awesome people who get me, who get these same crazy ideas. And yeah, obviously the three portals of the Creatress are the three feminine energy centers. But what is cool about them is that each one of them is literally a portal into immense, vast, infinite amount of energy. Your sacral, your life force, your beauty, your magnetism, that same place where everything in existence comes from. Your heart, the love, wisdom connection, but also your connection to every soul on this planet and to the flow of universal love. We are plugged into that stuff. Third eye, the vision, the intuition, and actually connection to all the Akashic records and all the information out there in the world, in existence. Once again, they're all portals. Each one of those things is a portal. Katie, tea party. So the sacral, my favorite. Everybody knows it's our sexuality, but actually it's so much more than that. It's the space of it is the connection to the divine void, right? As above, so below. So our womb space, our sacral space is where everything in existence can come from. So it is our connection to the infinite void of anything, where anything is possible, where anything can come from, anything can be born from, right? And this is also the place from which we can magnetize things, just like easily. But we can only magnetize things using our womb space powers if we are connected to them, which means we are connected to the sense of pleasure, the sense of joy, the sense of, that feminine flow when you're like, I'm loving myself and the world is in love with me, kind of thing. That's the state of an actually awakened woman, despite sounding very much like one of those influences. It's this is the state from which we attract all the beautiful, joyful, enjoyable things. And we share that too. We share that joy. Like, when sometimes you meet a friend and you've been like stressing about something, then she comes over and she's like, oh, I'm so great. Look at this new bag. Look at this, whatever. Let's have this, like, this particular kind of matcha with mango or something. You're like, oh my God, I didn't even think of doing that, but it sounds really fun. And then suddenly you're in that space too. And I know I'm bringing it really and dumping it really down here, but you know what I mean, right? It's like it is actually a lot more sacred than we give it credit to, right? So it's a lot more divine. Our pleasure, our enjoyment, our ability to be one with the world starts in the sacral. Because we can be all this high vibrational and meditate and channel every moment, but if our body is unhappy, if that woman within is not well fed, well nourished, well stretched, well, loved, and she doesn't enjoy her cup of tea, we won't be able to really embody any of those beautiful things because we just won't be in that space. We won't have that energy. So we need to have that. We need to really connect with our sacral space. And then we are connected to also all the possibilities. Everything in existence is possible from the divine void. The heart. And that is one of those centers that is the center of the woman of the future. The woman of the future has moved from here to here. So she starts creating from the heart space, which means the heart space is that divine ocean of love. And your heart space is like a fractal of this huge ocean of divine love everywhere. And from that perspective, it is also connected to every human heart in existence. It is connected to, again, it's a portal, right, into this collective love and universal love and the unconditional love that we are all a part of. And sales, money, abundance, heart space. That's where it happens. We don't sell from the Manipura, right? We don't sell from the force. We don't force things down people's throat. We connect. And in fact, we create from that connection as well, because we're hearing that from them within our heart spaces. Oh, okay, they want that. That's what I create. That's what I give back to them. That's what they pay me for. That is this loop, right? And so our heart is our main instrument of being a creatress and of building successful presence and self-expression as a creatress. But of course, our heart is also connected to our soul, to our higher aspects, to our all the light that we bring here. We also bring all these things and share it from the heart space. So it is our creative instrument. And we can build entire empires from the heart. Again, in the flow, with the connection, with the flow of love in the universe. The third eye, you know that one. This is our main asset plugged into what? All the world of existing information everywhere, including Akashic records, including past lives, future lives, all the possibilities, all the visions, all our ideas, but also so the ability to perceive possibilities, but also to visualize and to perceive the future, but also to visualize and shape the business or the book or the teaching or the framework or whatever it is that you want to share that happens in the third eye. This is our main tool for perceiving, receiving, channeling, but also structuring and giving out that information in some form. Whether it's an artwork, whether it's a book, whether it's a dance, whatever it is, it will happen through this first. It will kind of come through. So 3 portals, right? Infinite amount of life force and all the possibilities with the sacral. The universal love and connection to all humans, for a start, right? In our heart. And in connection to everything in existence in terms of information from the third eye space. So these 3 things are the 3 big portals of the Creatress. And I don't know, I guess none of you here have seen me like 15, 20 years ago when I was a bit of a tomboy, like running around and like ordering things around and trying to build things and failing continuously. And then I kind of, the kind of man that are attracted to you when you're in this really masculine kind of zone. Not great man. Not somebody who would really support you, help you, or whatever. It was just mad, basically. And I remember at some point, and I was the way I was dressing up myself as well. I was mad. I was like, I didn't have a single skirt. I didn't own a single skirt. I didn't own anything feminine or dress or anything. I was just jeans and whatever, t-shirt and stuff. It was just really, really not what I am today. And at some point, after dating this guy who spent all my money, broke my car, like it's just like basically horrible, horrible stuff like this. I was like, okay, something needs to change. Then I watched those girls who were all in their heels and pretty skirts, and they were all being dined out by this like important looking man. I was like, oh, what do they know that I don't? Like, why could I never be like that? Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I there like paying for my boyfriend's car insurance, like while all these girls are being, in this full abundance from the universe? I mean, in the shape of man or whatever, but still, I was like wondering. So from there started my journey of exploring what the feminine energies are and how to embrace more of those. And it was hard for me because I was in like mid to late 20s, and I was like, Jesus, that is hard. I never cooked anything in my life. I never cleaned anything. I was like, I just never really, I was just not into that whole feminine thing. Anyway, so long story short, I started because I'm very determined, right? So I started every single book on feminine energies, on the womb space energies, on the energies of, the feminine abundance and all this stuff. And I did every single practice. I attended all the webinars, all the workshops, all those things. I lived in India for a few months. I lived in Indonesia for a few months. Yeah, okay. Finally, I managed to kind of uh, switch myself into the feminine. And, it was a gradual process, of course, but at least from that point, it was probably more than 50% in there. So my life started to change as well. Suddenly, people started helping me with things. Um, and suddenly, men started to change around me. So, kind of, it was all very interesting how it all suddenly shifted around me. And then I developed all those 3 centers very much. But then I discovered another problem. Too much feminine. Okay, it was like 2020. I met my current husband. We had this amazing life, full abundance, full love, full everything. And I was very much in my feminine. I was happy, but also not actually fulfilled. I didn't feel like me, my energy, my fire was actually anywhere in this life. So I could receive, channel, envision, whatever, but I just couldn't launch or build anything that would make sense to me. And that's where kind of the whole new framework kind of came to me. Because I realized, okay, just being in this whole feminine also doesn't quite, it's also not very satisfying. It's lovely. Like it's not, I don't get so exhausted and I do feel very abundant because things just get, I only think about some bag and this bag appears in my space or some shoes or whatever. Or like, it's just, it was just all like a poster child for feminine energies and feminine manifestation. But it wasn't very, I still didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel like I was creating my life. So yeah, the woman of the future does not choose, does not sit in one polarity, which is what Yana said, right? Um, she is the fire and water. Obviously, she's earth and air, though, but let's just to simplify, fire and water. It is the feminine flow, but also this desire and this spark and that masculine structure. It is the vision, but also the action, but also the ability to work and to have discipline and to sort of dedicate yourself to things. It is the receiving, but also the creation, the giving and the getting, right? And it is this beautiful dance, once again, right, of both. And that was my personal key, right? That just clicked. I know, obviously, on the surface, it sounds like, duh, of course, we need both. But somehow it took me 20 years to come to this as a proper, livable uh, structure, I suppose, and the framework, which is, I think, the framework of the woman of the future, of that properly realized woman, of the woman who really embodies whatever she is and brings that into her actual life, into her reality. I believe welcoming, trying to read that comment here, embodying back the feminine frequency will bring back balance to God, all of us. Definitely. Yeah, feminine frequency. The reason why people talk about that so much is because there is a deficit of that on planet Earth. So my first part of this journey, or rather the second, I guess, when I explored that fully and went fully into that, was probably my big awakening, right? But then I still needed to bring back the masculine aspect. And not just this masculine aspect that I had when I was in my early 20s, but the kind of more grown up, more mature masculine, which is, a bit of discipline, a bit of structure, a bit of calm confidence, a bit of that, like directing that mad fire into something productive. So, yeah, this is the sacred dance of fire and water, which is so much more than the sum of the two. So, having both of those polarities and that in that sacred dance, it's so much more than just having 1+1. It's like a million. It's like an explosion with this picture on the right here. Thank you, Alex. The picture, it's so cute. Just so many things on my screen. Yeah, so the Creatress system is what I have come up with. And that is what I have put as the basis of the Creatress retreat, which I think some of you have already signed up for. And that is a multidisciplinary journey because I feel like women as these huge portals into everything in existence, right? We just can't be one thing. We need to have, there's not one method for us to work. We can't just live on meditation alone. We need to have the body, we need to have the nourishment, we need to have the rituals, we need to have the sisterhood, we need to have all those things together. And obviously creation, which is a big part, active creation every day. So that's designed to awaken different powers of the creatress and to bring them into one integrated, embodied superpower. The system, come into the body. That's the one step a lot of us skip. A lot of us spiritual beings don't feel that so necessary to actually understand and connect to our bodies. But our bodies are also portals into nature, into ancestral energies, into all the beautiful powers and secrets that our DNA holds, our instincts, our primal feminine, our shamanic aspects as well. So meeting the totem animals, awaken that shaman within, connect with the ancestral lineage, and kind of awaken that raw, deep, wild, feminine aspect. That is very important. And that's the one thing I actually skipped for most of my life. And that is also the basis of our nervous system and the regulation of it, us being actually connected to our bodies and to Mother Gaia. The other one is the heart, right? That's the one we talked about. There is the connection, the acceptance, the healing. But it also requires movement and sound and beauty to fully awaken. So we remove the fears, we remove the blocks. So the fear of love, the fear of not being loved, the fear of being rejected, the fear of being alone. There's so many fears blocking our hearts, and this kind of distorting that energy that we came here to bring, that we could share here. And then the life force can start moving again, and that connection restores. And then, of course, they enter the space of possibilities, right? That when we channel, connected to the higher self, but also to, because we don't create in isolation, we learn to connect to everything that's already there. So your creative project that's already out there, connect to it. Your customers that are already out there, connect to them, listen to what they have to say about what they want from you. It's kind of that learning to feel that rhythm, universe plus me. What's that dance like? How do we dance together? That is an art of really being in alignment with the universe. And your own vision and your own higher self. But then claiming your sovereignty. Once again, you connect, you open up, you get all of these things within you, but then you claim your sovereignty. What is me in that? Where is my fire in all of this? And that is working with the inner masculine, that is connecting to that inner lioness or lion, right? This is where, and a lot of us have really tired or absent inner masculine within us. So healing that and reconnecting to this. And then the inner priestess and our divine masculine begin to work together as a team. And the vision receives structure, and the structure gives vision a direction, right? So we work together. And then the voice, if we find in our voice the purity, the clarity, and that's where the impact starts. So we can have all these visions of what our business or whatever has to be, but we need to have that. We want to have the impact. We want people to listen. We want people to hear us. And that's done with a lot of body work, as well as the channeling and as well as meditation. Presenting and sharing and making noises and making and singing. Yeah, so this is when we are ready to stop hiding what wants to move through you. And your expression can become your impact, finally. And then, day 6 is the integration. I see, I speak, I live. That truth within me. That spark within me. But I guess it sounds, again, very simple, those 6 steps. But I guess the interesting things to that is that I've channeled some specific keys to connect and to activate those dormant powers. And they don't actually live in one energy center. They come alive in a combination. This is why the transformation cannot be just about learning about these things. It has to be activated, experienced, and embodied. So the keys. Oh yeah, that's why I have the retreat this October. Don't you like this picture? Isn't it cool? I think it's just so, so beautiful. Yeah, so the sacred activation that I have downloaded specifically for this, because the 6-step thing, is like kind of like, again, obvious. Like, of course, you need all these things. And I guess, and what came to me are these sacred activations. So connecting of the heart and the solar plexus. These centers activated and active separately, they don't really achieve very much. But in the combination of the two, when you have ignited fire to connect with that light within you, within the heart, that is exactly the water and fire energies together. And that together, in this sacred key that you kind of download, these codes, they work together. They work together, they connect, and they produce something beautiful into the world. The high heart and throat, these two, connecting them, because that is our feelings here. The stuff that we don't listen to, that we don't show anyone. But when you manage to connect the feelings with your throat, that is when you actually create true, real impact. Because you can't create impact without having that emotion, having that feeling in your work. Throat and third eye, interestingly, they need to be connected too, because the masculine portal of vision and the expression, right? So the masculine portal of expression with the feminine portal of vision, connecting. I see, I speak. That's the one that's actually very active for me personally. So the type of a light worker that I am, I'm the I see, I speak type. This is my circle. I mean, obviously we need all of these things, but some of us have those keys, particular key activated. And we probably see this in other people too. And yeah, just in general, other keys and combining and activating feminine plus masculine, recalibrating the relationship between flow and structure. And that's what, like, left, right, left, right, left, right. And that is what we will be doing at the retreat every day. So we practice, we meditate, we create, we do the output. So we kind of practice that balance between consuming, producing, consuming, creating, right? And just practicing that for 6 days. Just one thing alone can actually make a huge difference to the energy, to how the energy flows. And then I've channeled a few rituals, which I'm so excited about. Awakening of the water. It's beautiful. I have visions of that and what it has to be. Awakening of the fire, with the fire temple and meeting your dragon and the ceremony. So the rituals are actually done with the elements of the fire, the water. And then another ritual of connecting the two, learning to bring depth, feelings, and connection together with the fire, desire, direction. And what I call the sacred language within. It happens within. Before it can possibly happen outside, it happens within ourselves. And what I've channeled was the 2 swans initiation. Spirit and matter, starry night plus sun. These are the 4, could be more, but for now I've channeled the 4 beautiful rituals of initiation for the retreat. Yeah, the retreat is this container where we move through all these 6 steps with the keys and with the actual embodiment of those things, not just learning about them or meditating, but the actual embodiment. And something happens when women physically end up in the same room. I'm sure you felt that too. Just having some other people's presence, holding the space for each other, just amplifies everything 1,000 times. So I personally think that having a group of soulmates around you as you're going through these things, as you're discovering that, as you're embodying that, uh, it is one of the biggest, like it's incredibly powerful. And that is why I really feel like women should be gathering physically together more. I mean, we do that really well now on Zoom and places like this already, I know. But being physically in the same room, spending some time literally living side by side, that is just incredible, that experience. When everybody came there with the same goal of activating those gifts, of stepping onto this path of self-expression, of expressing your divinity through something physical, something real. And then receiving that feedback, receiving that support, receiving that, I don't know, accountability, being witnessed in your ascension, that is really powerful. And why Ibiza? I personally think that Ibiza is the birthplace of Creatress in a way. It is the space guided by the goddess called Tanit. And she's a goddess of dance, of creativity. She's one of those many manifestations of the Shakti energy. But she is the creatress. So we use that energy very much to help us. And we will use the actual space of Ibiza as this warm, welcoming, feminine space. But also very fiery and very fun and very alive to help us to feel that life within ourselves. So the 6 steps and the keys are not just here to learn about. They need to move into the body and into the energy and through us. The voice, the choices, the life that we create and we choose. And Ibiza, in my opinion, is the perfect container for that transformation. It's not random. So the woman of the future, she does not abandon the feminine or reject the masculine. She can receive and initiate. She can surrender and lead. She can dream and build. She can feel deeply, but also lead and create powerfully. She can follow the universe and listen to the universe and receive the universe and all those energies, but also make her own move and be sovereign in that. And the woman of the future becomes that bridge between spirit and matter. And we are all on our path to get there, but it's always easier to do it together. It just happens through moving, laughing, talking, activating each other, and building and embodying all those changes. So it's more like an immersive initiation, what I have prepared for that. And yeah, Creatress Awakened. I see, I create, I share, I live. The dance of fire and water. Stop sharing so we can see you. Was it? How was it? Was it mad? Was it? I mean, I think it was super simple, but also for some reason I think it's incredibly exciting. I certainly feel that it's that's something that I don't know, it's just dawned on me today, literally today, because I was preparing, thinking, downloading things here and there. And today it all kind of came together in this one structure. Azra, I'm so excited. Azra, I hope you're coming. Tanit, yeah. Oh, the goddess Tanit, yes. Katia. Yeah, so that's kind of that's something I truly believe in, because I just feel like we're just so we're multidimensional cosmical beings. Um, us incarnated in a feminine form. So we just can't live those simple, boring lives, right? We're here to do something quite incredible. And again, it doesn't need to be incredible on the outside, but it needs to feel incredible on the inside. Doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just something I so deeply believe in, and I so deeply want to share it with you. Like just this codes, this feeling. Fatima says that this is so activating. It feels juicy. Juicy. Why not? Ibiza was calling me for quite some years now. I'm happy that I can finally go there in the space created by you in the community. Yes, that's going to be amazing. Gosh, yeah. Really want to join either. Yeah, you can still join. So I've not put the prices up just yet because I feel like some other people want to want to come in there with the early bird prices, so they're still there. Maybe Alex can share a link just so you can. I mean, I'm sure you've all seen that retreat anyway, but maybe Alex just sends a link once again. And any questions, you can always just chat to me on Telegram. We can discuss that in detail. And the villa is there. The skies are there. The sun is there. How many spots? It depends. So it's only 6 bedrooms in this villa. So if you guys want to share, that's a different question. But otherwise, there's only like 6 of us that can fit in this one in particular. But if it does happen that there is more like 10 of us, we'll just get another villa next door and we will have 2 villas. But for now, it's 6. So we already have 3.5 taken when Azra decides. So that's going to be 4. And I don't want to have a huge crowd there. That's the thing. I'm not this kind of person who wants to have like 35 people and have I think because I feel like it's going to be very transformational for me too. Just being there, doing all those things all together it's always a collective process. So yeah, think about it, and we will keep it at the early bird for a couple of days still. And then I will rise it and I will start promoting it to outer circles of people. Well, yes. So how is everybody feeling? Just
Feel like I want to book right now.
Good, go for it.
I just messaged my husband. I was like, I'm about to take out from my 401k. I don't care. I'm booking it today.
Perfect. I mean, that's we just so yeah, if any of you want to bring a friend and share a room, it will be we can we can get the cheap room rate for sure, because I had to pay for, because we have food and and villa in there, so I had to prepare all that stuff. But it will be cheaper if you share and we have more people. How many women can you squeeze in a 6 bedroom villa? It's a question. Anybody wants to sleep on a couch? An option.
I do not mind.
Ida, oh, that was so great to see there. I actually had another Norwegian lady who wanted to join, so we could have 2 Norwegians potentially. Can you imagine? a, a higher level presence of one country. 13, Fatima thinks, for a 6 bedroom villa. Yeah, 13 is a good number. But yeah, we'll have to negotiate in terms of like who shares it. I think I mean, not, I know that I think at least 3 rooms have 2 beds. Um, so yeah, one room has this insane bath, which is like circle big bath. They're not all the same rooms. I mean, it's a villa. It's a hit and miss, but it's fun. That's the fun part about it. You need the one with the circular bath, Why not? So interesting that people think 13 will fit in there. Let's see. Let's see. I might just go and stay in the flat and then come over there for the day. So have more bedrooms. Yeah, the bath. Oh, they're in the bath. Yes. It's a really big, it's literally like a big circle. Why not? Um, for the water ritual, maybe we can use, oh, maybe that's what we're gonna use for the water rituals. Put like our feet in there or our hands or something. We're in a bath crying, holding hands. I feel like, yeah, why not? Like opening up our emotional centers there. Yeah, so some vegan food will be there and some movement practices and all these beautiful things we can do with movement and dance and all the embodiment we can get. Anyone feels like they want to have a little journey, since we have a bit of time left. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what's gonna. I've no idea what's gonna be like. We'll just go with the group energy and see what wants to come through today. Maybe Tanit will. He seems to be in the field quite a bit. With my lion and me for that. For the meditation. Oh, by the way, I'm also a jewelry brand reached out to me, some kind of sacred jewelry thing, and they have presence in Ibiza. And they're like, can we like partner with your retreat and offer people this insane jewelry? Not insane, it's amazing. This jewelry, like really energetically aligned. Like, of course, why not? Sounds great. Okay, let's take a breath in and breath out and go within. I really like how this presentation has already awakened that like fire in people, because I feel like that's exactly how it should be for women. We need fire as well as water. And with every breath in, let's just feel how we're letting go. Letting go of anything that makes us feel like we need to be serious or disciplined or boring. Let go of the energy in your throat that felt constricting. That felt like it was blocking your flow. And just tune in to connect with your light, with the light in your heart space, with the light in your solar plexus. See how the two of them, softly, gently, but very powerfully, lighting up right now. Let's imagine that there is a beautiful figure eight, one loop of which goes around the solar plexus. And the other loop goes around your heart. And the energy just goes in that figure eight, constantly in those beautiful loops. And it might look white or gold to you, this figure eight, or some other color. And that figure eight is the core of your own creatress energy. Now imagine yourself in a circle of women. And all these women, what's surrounding them is beautiful nature. Flowers that bloom, some waterfalls, so many birds singing. It's the full bloom of nature, of Mother Gaia, of that realized feminine. It just blooms all around us. And we're all wearing something beautiful, beautiful long dresses and skirts, something that makes us feel very much ourselves, in our all own perfect creative expression. Now you feel how there is a waves of movement, and all the women in the circle start to dance. Their shoulders, their hips, their hands, their feet, everything is just dancing to the rhythm of the nature around us. And we can hear the waves of the sea in the distance. We can hear the birds singing. And we can hear the breath of Mother Gaia underneath our feet. And she's sending those beautiful warm waves of love into our bodies. Just feel what kind of dance your essence in this meditation wants to dance. Is it a very open dance? Is it more of a sacred, beautiful, mystical dance? Or is it a dance of power with a lot of stomping and taking space? Whatever it is your very own beautiful dance. Just keep dancing, keep feeling into the movements. And now you can see that every time you stomp your foot on the ground, it's like you're claiming your space. It's like you're claiming your connection to Mother Gaia and your space within her endless, beautiful, balanced ecosystem. And through these movements, she heals you. And you feel more relaxed suddenly. And you feel more aligned. Because you don't no longer need to rush, prove, and achieve. You can just dance and breathe together with Mother Nature, together with Mother Gaia. And now your dance might change. Now your movements might have changed. Because your feet are no longer just moving by themselves. They're moving together with Mother Gaia in that flow. As if you're being moved by her. And your body knows exactly how she wants to move. When you're an extension of her, when you are her daughter, very much a part of her. Now feel into your heart space. And feel how your heart space has a very special connection to all the water on the planet Earth. You can just imagine how much water there is. The water under the ground, the subterranean rivers and flows and brooks, all the beautiful patterns they make. The rivers on the surface, from very big and powerful ones to very small ones. How your heart just knows all of them. How there is this energy of water within your heart that is connected to all the water in the world. From very small little ponds to huge, vast oceans. And those oceans and the water, it holds the memory of all the emotions that human beings can have. And you know that your heart can hold this all, them all the feelings, all the emotions, and the joy and the pain, and all the love. Because all of these emotions, when they flow into the huge ocean, they dissolve in beautiful white light, universal, unconditional love. And as they come out of this ocean, they become this little narrow stream, one human feeding one thing. But then again, it all goes back to the ocean. So feel how within your heart space you want to direct that little river into a beautiful, vast ocean of white light. And just feel how whatever emotions you thought were too much for you can just flow into that vast ocean of love. Get cleared in there, get completely dissolved. And they can look back, come into your system, cleansed, and turned into love. The kind of love that flows through all our veins and fuels everything in existence. You could just do 2 more of those loops. Feeling how your body, how your system, just cleansing itself of all the excess emotions. And one more loop. Let it come back. Beautiful white light. Feel how your heart is now also softer and more expansive, and more open. Because why wouldn't you be open if everything around you is love and you are a part of that love? It's a beautiful space to be in. Move into your third eye. And your third eye now looks like a portal into the starry sky. Looks kind of purplish, dark, full of little twinkling stars. And as you fly through it, you see that it's all the vast, beautiful cosmos, space, the constellation, with beautiful little stars, with the sun at the center of it, all the galaxies, and everything else. And you know that your third eye is connected to the wisdom. All these planets, the beings on these planets, and all the field of information, the Akashic records. You are the one who can read that. You can sense it. You just want to establish that little bridge between your third eye and that vast field of information of everything in existence, forever and ever, millions of years before and after, to the time itself. But you ask the keepers of the Akashic records to give you access to whichever parts of it you're allowed to see. And you want to build the connection and the relationship with them. So you could come here as often as you want to perceive, to sense, to know. Even if it doesn't feel like knowing a fact, it will feel like sensing the truth. Just allow whatever codes want to come to you right now from that beautiful purplish glimmering space. Just allow them to come into your being, into your third eye space. Allow them to get uploaded. If that's something you needed to know. Now find yourself back on that, in the beautiful space of nature where we all stood initially. And feel that there is, at the very center of our circle, the goddess Tanit is there. She's just standing there, radiating beautiful light. She looks kind of orangish yellow, but so warm and so loving. Just allow your heart to perceive her, to feel those emanations from her, to fuel your figure eight, connecting your solar plexus to your heart. Receive. But also maybe there is something she wants you to do, to produce, to create, to put out there in the world. Maybe there's little projects she has for you. Even if it's just a little dance. Just perceive that from her. Receive that from her. And as you received it, bow to her in gratitude. Say thank you. You can start feeling back into the here and now. In back into your bodies, back into this moment. The idea of working with plants came back to me in the meditation. Interesting. Could be your gift from Tanit. Working with plants. You don't need to know just yet. Just let it settle. It will, as it comes into your system, it will become more clear. Yana. Anybody else wants to share something? Sandra. Wow, it's always an amazing journey. Thank you. Thank you, Sandra. I always travel so easily during your meditations. Yeah, I guess it's because you're on this wavelength. You can go and see things and experience things easily. But I started singing alone. Why not? I started to dance when I was like feeling the dance. I was like, I really feel like I want to dance here. I saw the goddess as gold and orange before you said it. Yeah, I feel like Tanit is very orange, like she's very sacral energies. Not just, but a lot of sacral energies in her. That was amazing. Thank you, Katie. I heard to dance and use my hands, Sandra. I think dancing would be great for you. I felt her hand hold my face and wipe my tears. The dancing was like I was a feather and I went towards a fruit tree. So beautiful. Dance therapy is another thing too. Yeah, well, any form of movement is always good for us to release anything, right? Because our bodies hold on to so much stuff. Anything else anybody wants to share? Or you just want to be in that for a bit? Embrace your creatress. Yeah. Yeah, I think you might be, it might be one of your avenues, one of the many avenues of your creatress doing dance therapy. Why not? Uh, she was orange and gold. Her codes were sent through Earth, creating this beautiful star shape. Oh, Fatima, that's beautiful. Azra held Yana by the hand, dancing. Why not? Okay. You're amazing. You're all amazing. Okay. I will let you guys go. You've got my Telegram. You've got me on email and everything. So just drop me a note if you want to share something or ask something. And I'm looking forward to the retreat. I'm so excited about that. Just seeing people in person. Thank you, Ida. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Diana.